Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Alright, the controversy surrounding the WNBA just took another major turn, and fans everywhere are demanding answers. Reports surrounding Seattle Storm co-owner Celeste Keaton has sparked a huge debate online, and now the WNBA has responded with disciplinary action. Many people are saying the league acted quickly, but others believe the punishment simply doesn't go far enough. Supporters of Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark have been extremely vocal, arguing that this situation deserves much stronger accountability. A lot of fans believe there should be a public explanation about what happened and what steps will be taken to ensure every fan feels safe inside WNBA arenas. They're also calling for stronger security measures and clearer standards for everyone involved. The conversation became even bigger after independent journalist Brandi Cruz shared information and commentary on her own platform. Her reporting quickly spread across social media, bringing even more attention to the controversy and increasing pressure on the league to respond. Since then, basketball fans have continued debating whether the WNBA's decision truly matches the seriousness of the situation. We're going to break down everything that has happened, including the reaction from Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham supporters, what Brandi Cruz revealed, and why this story has become one of the biggest talking points in the WNBA community. We'll also look at the league's official response, the reaction from Seattle Storm fans, and why many people believe this discussion is far from over. So buckle up because there's a lot to cover. Storm co-owner Celeste Keaton is suspended for the next 5 home games due to an exchange with Fever fans. Now, this is what I want to say. This is not enough. Suspending her for the next 5 home games? These owners pick and choose what games they're even going to go to. They don't go to every single game. So it's like, that's not enough. That's not enough. She should be suspended for the rest of the season from home games. You can't come back into the building, a hefty fine, and you need to get on camera and apologize to those girls. That's what needs to happen. Not only does it stop there, you need to get your ass on camera with whoever else the other owner is, and y'all need to talk about the assault that took place against a Caitlin Clark fan who was spit in the face by a Seattle Storm fan unprovoked. You guys need to be getting on camera and addressing that. How about that? This is not enough. This is not enough under any circumstances. Under any circumstances. And this only took place after all of us bombed on them, and Brandi Cruz absolutely blasted them and exposed what actually happened, because she was right there. She actually told security what happened, and they told her, oh, that's the owner. She was right there. Take a look.
Immediately in my mind, I'm like, she's front row sitting next to Sue Bird. I said, I bet she's like someone important, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with everything. So at this point, I go over to security again, and there's another male security guard who was perfectly nice to us and knew the situation that had happened. And I go to him and I say, hey, that woman sitting next to Sue Bird is the woman who made the girls cry. And he's like, which one? And he's looking. And I'm like, the one white, whatever. And he says, oh, that's a co-owner of the team. Her name is Celeste Keaton. There she is. The woman on the left is co-owner, and that's her wife, her longtime partner. So I'm like, okay. So there's actually video of me talking to security, because I go over and I'm like, I'm responsible for these girls. And I go over to security and I'm telling them, and they were nice, right? But they say, oh, that's the co-owner of the team. And I say, okay, and? I'm thinking, why does it matter? You can't do, I don't care if you're the co-owner, Sue Bird, or who it is. It's against the fan rules of conduct. So I'm like, can't we do something about this right now? I mean, security had basically said, if you find this woman, let us know. Well, I found her. Sorry that she happens to be the co-owner of the team, but she cursed out 2 16-year-olds. I'm like, can we do something about it? And then one of the security guards says, well, you could go, there's an office up here. You could go up and talk to him. And the male security guard says, the best course of action is probably just to write a letter to the team. So they're telling me to write a letter to the team, okay? So before I get to why no other fan would be treated like that, any other fan they would go kick out, I did talk to Annalie and her friend after the game was over about just their perspective on what happened.
Well, we were just sitting there with our signs that said, we love Sophie, thank you, Sophie, for speaking up. And so we were holding on, just watching the game. Again, we were being super great. We hadn't said anything to anyone else. We were being super respectful. We were just holding our
place, and specifically the Seattle Storm has in place, are very clear on that kind of behavior. Any in-arena comments that are discriminatory toward people based on their religious beliefs is against the rules. Well, they brought up God. Oh, I hope your God forgives you. Any in-arena comments that use profanity, that are offensive, abusive, disparaging, demeaning, are strictly against the rules, and they violate the WNBA's fan code of conduct. So what happens when the co-owner of the team violates the WNBA's fan code of conduct and gets her old ass up and hobbles across the freaking floor to harass two 16-year-old girls? And this is a woman, by the way, who, is held up in the media throughout the years as someone who's a champion for women. A champion for the WNBA. Not a single one of those WNBA players would want to play against a man. Not a single one of those team owners or any team owner of any WNBA team in the nation would want to have to play against a team that has a man on it. But maybe if they did have a man on their team, the Storm wouldn't have lost 7 in a row last night. Any other fan in the stadium who would have acted the way Celeste Keaton acted would have been ejected. No question in the world. Had I acted that way, got up, went and swore at 2 people, let alone children, and made them cry, I would have been ejected and I would have deserved it. But I would never do that because I'm not mentally disturbed and insane. And that wasn't the end of it. And I said last night when I got home, I was so mad. Like my motherly instincts had kicked in. And I was like, I will spare no one. Here's 2 girls who decided it would be a good idea to try to trip one of the teen athletes who we were there with. Callie Keeler, who you guys know, who is the girl who had to wrestle a boy unbeknownst to her. Callie Keeler had gotten up to go check on Annalie while she was crying, and these 2 absolute detestable creatures attempted to trip her and then laughed about it. Well, there are their faces. Let's find out who they are. Maybe they're someone of importance too. It is always the people who preach love and inclusion, who think they are morally superior, who are the most detestable, hateful bigots on the planet. If I have learned anything in the last 5 years, I have learned that.
So here we are again, and a lot of people are saying this situation still hasn't been handled the right way. If you ask many fans, a 5-game suspension for Seattle Storm co-owner Celeste Keaton simply doesn't match the seriousness of everything that's been reported. A lot of people believe this shouldn't end with quietly sitting out a few home games. They believe she and her wife need to get in front of a camera, answer questions, and explain exactly what happened. Because let's be real, a 5-game suspension where you basically disappear for a little while is not enough. That's not enough. Fans are saying there needs to be real accountability. Write a letter to the team if you want, but that's not going to satisfy the people who watched this controversy unfold. The damn owner should be publicly addressing the situation instead of staying silent. And let's be honest about why this story exploded in the first place. Brandi Kruse deserves a lot of credit for bringing attention to it. Through Undivided with Brandi Kruse, she put the spotlight on the controversy and refused to let it disappear. She has a major platform, she understands how to get information in front of the public, and once she started talking about what allegedly happened, the pressure on the WNBA increased dramatically. Many fans believe that's exactly why the league felt it had to respond. Before getting into why many people believe other fans would have been treated differently, Brandi Kruse also spoke with Annalie and her friend after the game to hear their perspective on everything that unfolded. According to her reporting, those young girls were shaken by the experience, and that only fueled more outrage across social media. Brandi Kruse absolutely went after this story, and many viewers believe she exposed details that otherwise might never have received widespread attention. Even with the league's response, a lot of fans are saying the punishment still falls short. They argue that a 5-game suspension is not enough. They believe Celeste Keaton should be banned from Seattle Storm home games for the rest of the season, receive a hefty fine, and publicly apologize on camera. Many are also calling for an apology to Brandi Cruz, to the young female athletes who were present, and for a public explanation regarding the reported incident involving a Caitlin Clark fan. What do you think? Is the WNBA's response enough, or should the league have gone much further? Get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel.